to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, today held a meeting with a clique of Mount Kenya MPs, allegedly to take notes of some projects after rounds of endless donations disguised as empowerment programs. And I'm going to look straight in the eye of Kindiki in this podcast to explain why I think it will not be easy for him to navigate the murky political temperatures within Kenya Kwanza for his position as the running mate. That position is a sealed deal. It is a closed chapter. And it doesn't matter how much Kindiki is going to do. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And thank you very much for supporting us in this podcast. Let us go to Kindiki's Facebook page. Today, he held a meeting with some Mount Kenya MPs, and to be specific, 27 Mount Kenya MPs, according to some insiders who attended this meeting. Karen Nairobi City County met members of the National Assembly and senators from Mount Kenya region to receive feedback on the status of government programs and projects in their areas of representation. I think there is a word that is being misused here. And this word is projects. I'm tracking some projects. Of course, I understand the president is heading to Ukambani from Wednesday tomorrow and is going to be in Ukambani for a week-long political tour in the Lower Eastern region. And then after Ukambani, he's supposed to make his way to Mount Kenya, where he will campaign in Mbeere North by-election. So from Ukambani, he's going to make his way to the coast, then the Arudi side, He's going to make way to the coast to campaign for Tana River, in where they have a by-election, they have a candidate in Banisa. Then after that, they will come down for Mbeere in Mount Kenya. But I want to question this. What is this? A cabinet, a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya meeting with leaders from one region, like Mount Kenya, senators and the MPs, allegedly discussing projects. I think in this country we have distinct, constitutional levels of governance. It would have made more sense if you are meeting governors, you are meeting MPs across the country. And what is this hula baloo of saying a meeting from Mount Kenya? Now, if you are not tribal, because when other people try doing this, they're the people that are normally slapped by the tribalism tag. That is why I always say in this podcast, the fellows that jam our comment section and try to lecture the country on how Rigathi-Gachagua is tribal, I always say here, I don't dispute the fact that Rigathi-Gachagua is tribal. He does in politics better than ethnic. But I despise it in the basis that is the texture of our politics. And isolating or picking Rigathi-Gachagua on that, politicians don't have the range to pick Rigathi on that line. Like here, what is Kindiki doing? Like, fine, you've met Mount Kenya. Kwani, are government projects only happening in Mount Kenya? I've not heard Kindiki saying, I've met leaders from Coast, MPs and senators from Coast. We are tracking government projects that are being done there. Or I've met people from Turkana. We are tracking government projects of what this and that which is done there. And of course, I ask again. So are MPs the M&E? Are they people that are spearheading government projects? Yes, MPs have CDF. To the best of my knowledge, work on a CDF. And then the other part of their responsibility is just to push the executive because based on some friendships here and there. But if it is roads, they are Kera, Kura. If it is dam, it is done through some authorities, some regional bodies. If it is a government project, it is done through the ministry, the one advertising. Where does MPs come in? Now, they're not even taking notes. I've looked at the photos here. Do these people look like they're taking some notes on tracking something, or the project ziko kwa kichwa? And without even some format of note taking, like the deputy president saying I'm meeting them to track some projects. But where are PSS? Principal secretaries are the engines of this of ministries. And if projects are being done, then projects are, because national government, the engine of those ministries, the custodian of those ministries are the principal secretary. Now, do you then understand that what is normally clothed as meeting to organize some is not it? And just to confirm, check this photo. In this photo, MPs are chanting totem. Now they have to show you the hands, the totem. So, how, and sometimes I wonder, yani, politicians wakienda kwa masses, they really try to lead the masses to chant totem and take the photos of totem. Hata MP pia lazima aende aseme, kama ilikuwa mambo ya projects, why would you parade MPs stand there and say totem? Sometimes you wonder, what is always the motivation of these projects based on regions? If this is not tribalism, then what is it? Of course, according to some insiders, they're saying the evening meeting was convened by under the speaker, the deputy speaker, Odour Murungi, who is the senator from, not Machakos, senator from Meru. I don't seem to see projects in this meeting. And of course, insiders are saying that Kithure Kindiki is getting more worried and is expressing his worry on Mount Kenya vote collapsing if they do not lead the way in selling what the government has done in the region. For people who come from, yes, the said region, maybe you never know, intelligence or Kithure Kindiki's handlers might watch this podcast. Can you go to the comment section and show us 2 or 3 projects you can say are outstanding? Useme, since Kenya Kwanza iliingia, I think this is what we've done. You can go general, you can pick the roads, be it the hospitals, but just pick something on one that you might pick and say this is it. Is it the SPC markets? What is it that you can tap and say, hii alifanya kwa sababu hii? And it will be difficult to take credits for these markets kama zinajengwa na pesa ya affordable housing. It will be very difficult. And now, Kindiki was actually tasking the MPs to camp in Mbeere North and ensure that the seat is delivered to the president's UDA party. Because through that, they shall have shown the president that the region still is supporting him. But any feeling that the region is slipping away from him will be detrimental to their own political survival. And it's very true. And of course, their leaders are worried that if he loses the DP slot, several political careers will be on the chopping board, starting with his own. To salvage his own political career, he must vouch for this position. Some conspicuously missing leaders who were missing in that meeting was Sabina Chege, Neglect-Ichun'gwa, Kiunjuri, Betty Wamaina. The current Madeira Member of Parliament has also been missing. Kiunjuri recently even confronted the president, told the president that ile shida hata iko hapa kwamba watu wanasema ulipromise and you don't deliver. But if you listen to how Rigathi takes Ruto and his team head on, I don't think Kindiki can match this.
In kind. And it's good, I tell you. After the Gen Z protests, the cabinet was dissolved. And William Ruto was struggling on what to do, bring Raila and his people in, this, that, and we let him do what he wanted to do without too much argument. And he announced the first batch, and out of the positions I had negotiated for my counties where I come from, he did not appoint anybody from Embu. And I asked him why. He said, let's wait kidogo. So in the next appointment, the final one, he called me and Musalia so that we flank him to announce the last batch of cabinet. And he was in a hurry. Let's go. I said, hey, what do you mean we go? How? How do we flank you to announce what we don't know? No, wewe Rigiji, wacha maneno mingi. Musalia, let's go. I said, no, I can't. If we are flanking you to make the announcements, we must be part of what you're announcing as the usual practice. I cannot flank you to announce cabinet when I don't know who you're announcing. I cannot hear it for the first time with the rest of Kenyans and the press. So he was very angry. Then he rushed to his office. Oh, Musalia, my God. He was shaking like a leaf. Oh, mommy, how can you challenge the president? How? Please, this is not right. I say, Musalia, my friend, do you know this announcement, your name could be missing in that paper? The only person who will save is myself because I'm elected. So mimi hata nakusaidia. So he went and brought the list and threw it at me. I looked at it and found that JB had been dropped from Embu and he had put somebody else. And then I asked him, who is this? I don't know him. You have not consulted me. We had an agreement. Who is this? Oh, is somebody says Barida brought. I said, no, I cannot be party to that decision. Because the other time, you appointed somebody from Meru. I did not argue with you. The people of Meru were asking me, who is this? I don't know. Where is this home? I have no idea. This person I don't know. So if that is your choice, go ahead and announce. I cannot accompany you to make that announcement. He said, wewe Rigathi. Hii ukabila yako itakufikisha wapi? I said, Mr. President, I am not party to that decision. How do I accompany you to announce something I'm not part of? And the people of Embu will be asking me, who is this? But if I'm not there, just go ahead and announce. He kept quiet like 3 minutes. He said, he threw a pen at me. He said, toa hiyo mtu weka hiyo JB yako hapo. This JB, you are crazy about this JB. I said, but Mr. President, this is a good man. And I chair the cabinet committee. This is a solid minister. All the other people you are putting and you have returned, most of them are useless. I sit there and I have listened to this man. And he means well for this country. So why do you want to remove him? What is it that he has done? So he said, chukua. Mimi nikachukua kalamu, nikafuta hiyo mtu na kalamu ya wino, nikaweka Honorable JB Muturi. Nikamurudishia. But then I told him, because I know you, if we go there and you announce the other name because I think that is what you want to do, I'll walk away when the press is live. So that's how JB Muturi got his job back. And after that, I was thrown away, and he followed me. I'm sorry I was not there to defend you another time.
Now, why it is becoming increasingly difficult for Kindiki to salvage his DP slot immediately after Raila Odinga's death? It is becoming increasingly difficult because the death of Raila has completely complicated the 2027 matrix. It has completely complicated that matrix because when Rigathi was impeached, the simple imagination was that after he's impeached, ataisha will be nowhere there. And then the ODM party, or rather Raila Odinga, was the plan B. There should be a very good lesson from this. William Ruto, kwanza, do you know he impeached Rigathi using Raila's votes? He bought Raila's votes, a section of Raila's votes, added with those he had in UDA to impeach Rigathi. But then, you can't know with the voice of Raila missing in the picture, how many votes, how many people you will convert to go to walk to the ballot. How many people? It is a very complex question. You're no longer sure. You are not sure about that. It is even becoming more complicated because Kalonzo is emerging as a voice in the Luo nation. The second observation I'm making is the return of Uhuru Kenyatta. I've seen the recent past, Uhuru Kenyatta, the president always attributed that, make some statements that, I spoke with Uhuru Kenyatta and we've agreed to do this and that. That has been to try to show the voters that, as you guys think we are enemies, me and Uhuru Kenyatta, we are together. Which is for morale boost and confidence boosting. Of course, as a politician, sometimes you want to say one thing that favors the people. But I think the former president has made it more clear when he called out leaders and told them that, please, I don't want to see you guys attacking Gachagua in the name of defending Jubilee. He was simply telling them that the Gachagua is not Jubilee's enemy. And he knows. He doesn't want Gachagua to be attacked. People have always attributed this issue of Northern attacks to Gachagua. Wanna protect Jubilee, then they are attacking Gachagua in the Northlands. They always say, you attacked Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru made a statement, said, yaliyopita yapite. All that is gone. Let's forge ahead. And kila mtu auza sera. Now that statement dealt a blow to Kindiki. Because, take this to bank, regarding Uhuru Kenyatta, that formidable team, Kindiki cannot match them. Kindiki will actually be an outsider in that, an outcast. Hello? Hello? Yes. No, ananinda. Ananinda weri koda. Aninda. Adu adich. Now, interestingly, while regarding Gachagua impeachment was to be perceived as political shrewdness or political bravery by William Ruto. But there is a permanent mark it brought. It brought a notion and a feeling like the deputy president is not as prestigious, as permanent, as powerful as Mwananchi was meant to believe. You remember the days of Moi, where vice president could be sacked at any time. Vice president was serving at the mercies of the president. Now, 2010 constitution came to cure that and tried to make it look like, and of course for Uhuru Kenyatta, presidents gave a good precedence that president and his deputy had joined at the hip. Now there is the machinery that can be weaponized and can be sharpened, that a president can sharpen against his deputy, has made that position belittled. And that is why I can tell you that because Mount Kenya knows that Rigathi Gachagua might not be viable to vie, they're comfortably telling the supporters that we don't need even that position of running mate. They only need the presidency. Probably the day they will come for it, I don't think there is someone that will stop on their way. I understand Musalia and Westangula are still jostling for the same position of running mate. And it doesn't matter how many meetings. In fact, I always say, what is the value of Kindiki oscillating in Mount Kenya? How does he add vote for the president? You know, I tend not to get it more clearly. How that is adding votes for the president.